effect as the Israeli military has released new footage to bolster its claim that Hamas used the Shifa Hospital for military purposes, presenting a pair of security camera videos showing what it said were 2 foreign hostages taken to the hospital following the October 7 attack. Israel has been very clear that unless and until those hostages are released, there is no question of ceasefire. Also, claims that have been coming in from the Israeli side, where they go on to say that it is the Hamas that is using hospitals and kindergarten schools in order to store their weaponry and also move hostages. Now they've released these videos from the Shifa Hospital where they claim that the hostages have been kept in this hospital. Gursimran will join us shortly to give us further details of what the IDF is claiming as far as these videos are concerned. These are videos that have been released by the IDF. This, they claim, is from the Shifa Hospital, where hostages were dragged inside the hospital on the 7th of October. Let's listen in to what has been said.
Palestinian Authority spokesman in Ramallah said something utterly preposterous. It denied that it was Hamas that carried out the horrible massacre at the Nature Festival near Gaza. It actually accused Israel of carrying out that massacre. This is a complete reversal of truth. Abu Mazen, who in the past has denied the existence of the Holocaust, today is denying the existence of the Hamas massacre. And that's unacceptable. My goal is that the day after we destroy Hamas, any future civil administration in Gaza does not deny the massacre, does not educate its children to become terrorists, does not pay for terrorists, and does not tell its children that their ultimate goal in life is to see the destruction and dissolution of the state of Israel. That's not acceptable, and that is not the way to achieve peace.
Cutting across to Gursimran, who is now joining us live on the broadcast. Gursimran, you have been reporting from day one. And these videos that the IDF claims is from the hospital when those hostages were dragged to that hospital on the 7th of October. Contrary claims that have been coming in from the other side, where they say that it is the Israeli side instead that is going on to target hospitals. Whose version is to be believed, and what more can you share with us on this video?
See, it took almost a week's time for the IDF to locate the tunnel, but yes, this time the IDF has to be trusted because these are the tunnels that are 55 meter long and 10 meter deep, cannot be built overnight, and that remains the reality that there is a tunnel network very close to the Al-Shifa Hospital. Now coming to the operations have entered day 45, and we are reporting from the armistice line of agreement that divides the Gaza Strip from the state of Israel. And as we speak, even as the gusty winds follow, we see the smoke that is coming out from the area that is very close to the Jabalia camp, the Jabalia refugee camp, where the operations are on. And as we speak, not only the airstrikes are taking place, but also there have been Apache fighter attack helicopters that have been roaming very close to the armistice line of agreement, carrying out the precision strikes as the area that is very close to the armistice line of agreement that was cleared by the Israel Defense Forces on the very initial days, that has now been reactivated again, and there has been a visible movement in the air. I'll request Rawatji if he can show you that the BMPs have been deployed very close to the armistice line of agreement. This has been done yesterday as additional deployment to the troops that are entering the strip, the Gaza Strip, and these are the deployments of the very close to the armistice line of agreement, that how BMPs and the artilleries are being moved close to the place from where the Israel Defense Forces are entering the additional reinforcements as part of the Operation Swords of Iron, and also the deployment of the snipers and the commandos very close to the armistice agreement line shows that the Israel seems to be in no mood to give up on when it comes to the international pressure. But now what has changed after 45 days of the war, that the war that started with a mission that the Hamas will be completely wiped out, now the center stage has become the release of the hostages, because the mounting pressure not only from the international community but also from the people of Israel, that they want, because the reality remains that Israel don't have decades when it comes to the negotiation for the release of the hostage. Each passing minute, each passing hour will cost the hostages their precious life, and that's why the mounting pressure on the Israel government is evident, clearly evident, and that's why today evening at 8:30 Israel time, that is at around midnight in the Indian Standard Time, there will be a meeting of the full war cabinet headed by the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu with the representative of families of the missing hostages, those who are still in the Gaza Strip. And it is expected that during the meeting there will be assurance that will be given that very soon, or before that, it is in all likelihood, there will be a deal that will be cracked with the Hamas, because what the families are saying, that we don't have sufficient time, that we wait for more days. It's already been 44 days of the war, and the hostages are still in the captivity of Hamas.
And absolutely right, Gursimran, families of the hostages are urging that they be released, and that is exactly the flashpoint as far as the Israeli side is concerned. But really in terms of how they continue to move forward when it comes to the strategy on the offensive, because so far the other side has been claiming that it is the IDF that is also going on to target hospitals, but they are saying that it is the Hamas instead that is using these most sensitive places like hospitals and schools in order to forward their fight, to store their weaponry, or also to keep the hostages. So in that sense, how will Israel conquer and combat that point?
See, Swisha, in the 45 days, what has changed is the support that the Israel was getting in the initial days of the war. Now, with the change of the center stage from the wiping out Hamas to the securing the hostages, now the situation seems to be changing for the Israel. The international support that they were getting earlier, now the international support has shifted to the other side, that is to the Hamas also and to the civilians. And as we speak, I'll request Rawatji to keep showing you the visuals. These are from the Jabalia refugee camp, very close to the outskirts of the Gaza City, where the strikes are taking place, though its gusty winds are following, but the wind, the black smoke that is coming out from the establishments that are being targeted can be clearly seen. And this is the 45 day, and the areas that have been cleared earlier are being reactivated against by the fighters, the cadres of Hamas, those who are operating inside the Gaza Strip. Now coming to the question that you have asked, that how the Israel is planning to go ahead, because there is a mounting international pressure and also the pressure from the people of Israel that they want to ensure that the civilians come home earlier, because they don't have decades to wait, and that is reality. And that's why the war cabinet headed by the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will be meeting the representative of the family of the hostages today evening, and it is expected that a breakthrough will be reached within 24 to 48 hours.
All right, Gursimran, thank you for getting us those details. This is the latest video that has been released by the Israeli military on your screens right now, where they are claiming that the Hamas terrorists are keeping the hostages in that hospital. This is a video they claim is from the 7th of October, when 2 of those hostages were taken to the hospital. And really in that sense, Gursimran, as you track how Israel is now going to take this fight forward, especially in terms of the meet that is to happen, headed by Benjamin Netanyahu. We'll come back to you, Gursimran, for those updates. For the moment, we also put out other details from the war in brief.